Okay, hey everyone. I'm wearing a very light blue blocker here today, advertising my book, Uncle Herschel Over My Shoulder, and the Spanish version will be called Tío Herschel sobre mi hombro. And then I am working on that. So that's my book, and I'm going to be adding something extra to this first page of the let's see, that was page 47. I have in black and white a painting I did for my dad before he passed away. And he saw it, so that's it in black and white. But now I'll show it to you in color. And it's something like this. Here is what it looks like. So I'll be using part of the graphic in the center, my dad's liberation photo that I traced from, done by an American soldier in Germany in 1945. So it could have been a number of soldiers who were taking photographs, and that was his original uh, prisoner's uniform. So he had that 5 years, and he still managed to grow because the pants were below his ankles when he was abducted from his mother. So that's a very good graphic. I was happy to have done that for him while he could still enjoy it to the fullest. So I'm just going to read a letter to FDR that someone on Facebook posted, and I got it in under the wire for the printing and the printing costs and the deposit and the setup and typesetting and revisions and this and that. So very pleased. It's only one typo that was found, and basically it's this letter, and I have it on the computer, the original typewritten one, which actually I could probably bring up. Let's see, where is that letter of interest? Oh, it's under docs, EMF docs. Let's see, sorry about this. I think I named it FDR. I don't know what I named it. Okay, well, it's the original from the typewriters of 1942. Anyway, so I'll read it to you. Here's an uncovered letter of interest, Office of Alien Property Custodian, Washington, December 7th, 1942. Isn't that exactly a year to the date of Pearl Harbor? And it says the sections of this letter not reproduced above are covered in greater detail in the text of, quote, patents at work, which I haven't researched yet. So I'll just show you briefly what the page looks like here. It's not a lot, and it is very interesting. So I can read that. I think it would be better if I just read it real fast. Dear Mr. President, you have directed the Office of Alien Property Custodian to seize all patents controlled by the enemy, regardless of nominal ownership, and to make these patents available to American industry, first for war purposes of the United Nations, and second for general use in the national interest. Today I can report satisfactory progress in this program. We have vested the bulk of the enemy patents and pending patent applications. We are now engaged in identifying and vesting the patents owned by nationals of enemy-occupied countries and the scattering enemy patents which require more detailed study. By December 31 of this year, every patent and patent application standing in the name of a national of an enemy-occupied country will have been vested, except for a few cases of disputed ownership requiring further investigation. We shall then control over 50,000 patents, representing some of the finest research achievements of modern science, particularly in the production of dyestuffs, which means food dye, plastics, pharmaceuticals, and electrical goods. From the beginning, we have immediately seized every enemy patent recognized as of importance to the war and licensed it to American businesses. We will continue to do this. In addition, we are now ready to announce a general patent program in conformity with the policy you outlined to me, to make these patents readily and freely available forever to American industry and to encourage the research necessary to develop these patents. We are dedicating these patents to the service of American labor, American industry, and the consuming public. There are many opportunities here for the small businessman to obtain the use of processes which will help him convert his plant to war production and to establish a sound business in the post-war world. The permanent value of this program will depend to a large extent on the willingness and ability of American industry to put these patents to work and the diligence with which American brains and skill are used to improve and develop these inventions so that they will become vital forces in the new world. Sincerely yours, Leo T. Crowley, Alien Property Custodian, to Honorable Franklin D. Roosevelt, the White House, Washington, D.C. So I did some research on these patents, and 1953, it seems that a lot of these bioweapons, chemical weapons, all kinds of warfare and dynamite and moving mountains is all a messy war. The bombs and the gas chambers were a messy war. So the laser, sonic, invisible radiation weaponry, it's cleaner because you just disintegrate the person's bone in the middle of the street and they just fall down. They're completely spineless, literally. So I should go back to the original one of my dad's. So if you were curious, I could do a little bit of, well, anyway, here's me and my dad here. Let me make that a little bigger. I guess it was like 1964. I look like about 10 years old here. And I think either he had a self-timer on or his friend Jack took this photograph of us. I had just taken the rollers out of my hair because there's another photograph with the one roller in of the same house in Seagate, Brooklyn, New York, surrounded by ocean with a lighthouse. So I'll just see what else is here. I don't want to put anything embarrassing up. Oh, this is my friend Ida Lehman, a survivor, Holocaust survivor from Poland. We were looking for her younger sister, and then we found her a little too late, but Ida lived to be 100, and I'm still friends with her daughter, and just one of the most fun ladies, just terrific. I really miss her a lot. I sang Happy Birthday when she was 100, and then she passed away a little bit after that. And anyway, so I'm so glad that I was able to reunite her, even if it was a little bit later than we would have liked. Let's see, I don't even know what I have up here anymore. I'm looking for one thing, and oh, here it is. Okay, let me explain a little bit about this. Okay, let's make it bigger. All right, so here we have my dad's liberation photo that trying to find the mouse here. Anyway, I'll just point, that's his, I did a tracing of the photograph, and these are the tools that my grandfather gave him in a little kit, and that's how he managed to survive, was fixing things, because he was like a fix-it genius, and these are the towns and some of the camps he worked in and where he's from. So it goes like this way. There's the ovens in Dachau, and that was where the 5th camp he was in, and that's the gas chamber with the door, and the gate also said Arbeit macht frei, and they had an electric fence and a tower like that. And then he got liberated and moved to New York and by the beach, and then eventually he went to Florida, and then we have those palm trees there. And I miss you, Dad. You're just the most wonderful dad anybody could ever have. And that's about the size of it right now. So let's see, he was 90 96, I guess, 25, let's see, 490, yeah, something like that, whatever. Um, anyway, that's about the size of it. December 18th, my mother would be 98. And so, happy birthday up in heaven, both of you, and taking care of things down here on earth. I was told I was sent here to reunite people. I haven't done a very good job. All I did was to find Ida's sister, and that was about it. Oh, here's a photograph of, oh, this is good. Let me show you this. This is the photograph taken in 1938 when the younger sister was 2. And then the one on the left, I think her name was Ruth. She passed away a couple of years ago. She was like 95 or something. The parents were murdered in the camps. Notice the Jewish star. And there were actually 7 siblings, and that's, I think on the right is Herman, and then the little boy on the bottom, I think, is Henrik or Alfred. I forgot. And there's Ruth in the middle there, and that's the one we found as a very good life that she had led and adopted. So we have the Red Cross photo here. That's how we found, through the Red Cross, found Ruth. So here she is at Liberation with a group, and there on top is Henrik and Alfred, Herman, and Frederick. I got it, Frederick. Okay, I know it's not Fyodor. That's another friend of mine. So we have these kids rescued by the American Joint Distribution Committee, and then they found that the older siblings survived, the 4 older, and the younger 3 survived, but each one thought the other group had been exterminated, but they all survived. And now they're all in heaven, but we know that they're together. This is, let's see, this is good. That's the cover of my dad's book. Let me blow it up a little bit. He wrote a memoir of his life when he was 90. So that was 2015. He had a ghostwriter, and that's the actual silhouette of the actual photograph, which is in my book, with the background in Germany and in the mountains there where they were recovering. So that's available on Amazon, and it's beautifully written. He left out a few things like the tools, and let's see what else. Okay, this is me with my dad's life mask in the art studio of Robert Sutz. My dad flew in with my stepmom, did a sculpture cast and painted it, and asked my stepbee for a shirt of his. Him and my stepbee decided on that shirt, so that was one of his shirts that he loved. He liked comfortable stuff, and that's about it. I thank Robert Sutz for doing this important work. He is a 501c3, and it's just wonderful. We remember for the Holocaust, especially the survivors, liberators, and rescuers, because you have to kind of label everything, but it's all really good stuff. And that's about it for now. Like I said, I just turned 67, and I don't know what to say. I got a lot of great birthday wishes. It was really nice, and people believe me. There's a lot of people who believe what I have learned, especially my recent information that people didn't know about: electric shock drowning, ESD. The scientist Barry Trower in England assigned me the task of doing more research on that, because where those brothers drowned in Lake Pleasant last year, there was also a young diver from Tucson, Josh Rosen, who died the year before, and it shows that club there, that scuba diving club, that he had wandered into the area where there was the rebar sticking out of an old submerged dam, when they built a dam there for the antiquated hydroelectric facility that services about 2,500 homes in that Lake Pleasant area. So I think it's leaking electricity. There are a lot of, I wrote a report called Why Take Chances about about 2 a year for the last 8 years, mysterious drownings. So I think there's some electricity leaking into the water there. But I'm going to let you go, over and out, and take care.